There's a moment when life stops overwhelming you, not because it got lighter, but because you got steadier. And with that steadiness comes a different kind of weight. If you've ever realized you can no longer blame confusion for your choices, when everything began to integrate, I thought relief would follow. I thought clarity would feel like rest. It didn't. Clarity brought responsibility. Not the heavy kind people complain about, the quiet kind no one warns you about. Because once you can see clearly, you can't pretend you don't know. Before, reaction had an excuse: stress, pain, confusion, circumstance. Now those excuses didn't hold the same power. I noticed it in small moments, how quickly I could feel a reaction rise, and how clearly I could see it forming. The pause between impulse and action grew longer, and in that pause, choice appeared. That sounds empowering. It is. It's also demanding, because once you recognize that space, you become responsible for what you do with it. You can still react, but now it's a decision. You can still withdraw, but now you know when you're doing it. Awareness removes plausible deniability. And that's uncomfortable. I could no longer blame my past for present behavior. Pain had shaped me, yes, but it no longer controlled me. Time had pressured me, yes, but it no longer rushed me. Integrity had cost me, yes, but it had also strengthened me. With integration came agency, and agency carries weight. I began to understand why some people avoid clarity. Confusion protects you from responsibility. If you don't know, you're not accountable. But knowing, really knowing, changes the rules. You become responsible for how you speak when you're triggered, for how you listen when you're tired, for how you treat others when no one is watching. That responsibility isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. It just waits for you in the space between stimulus and response. I didn't feel burdened by it. I felt grounded, because responsibility chosen freely is different from obligation imposed externally. This wasn't about being perfect, it was about being intentional. I learned that responsibility isn't about control, it's about care. Care for your words, care for your energy, care for the impact you leave behind. That kind of responsibility doesn't drain you. It focuses you. If you're listening to this and you're sensing a new kind of weight in your life, not pressure, but presence, you're not regressing. You're stepping into authorship. Responsibility isn't punishment for growth. It's proof that you can now carry more without losing yourself. And that weight, chosen, not forced, is one of the quiet privileges of becoming whole. Imagine carrying a backpack. At first, it's heavy. You feel every step. Your shoulders ache. But then you realize something important. You packed it. Every item inside is something you chose to bring. Nothing was forced into it. Nothing slipped in unnoticed. You could take things out, but you don't. Not because you have to, but because each thing serves a purpose. The weight doesn't disappear, but it feels different. It sits closer to your back, balanced, familiar. It moves with you instead of against you. That's what chosen responsibility feels like. Not pressure imposed from the outside, but weight accepted from the inside. And once the weight is yours, you stop resenting it. You adjust your posture and keep walking.